Alright, here's the thing. If you're still using a tape measure for everything, you're basically doing carpentry with stone tools. I've tested dozens of laser measuring devices over the past year, and I'm about to save you from making some seriously expensive mistakes. Stick around because number 2 on this list has a feature that'll blow your mind, and our top pick. Well, let's just say it can measure the length of a football field with scary accuracy. And if you see one you love, I've dropped updated links with the best pricing in the description below. Coming in at number 5, we've got the DeWalt DW03050, and let me tell you, this thing is built like a tank. If you're the type of person who drops tools more often than you'd like to admit, this is your best friend. DeWalt designed this laser measure with their signature yellow and black rugged housing that can handle whatever you throw at it, literally. The DW03050 gives you a solid 165-foot range, which is perfect for most residential and light commercial work, and the accuracy sits at a respectable plus or minus 1/16 of an inch. What I really love about this DeWalt is how stupidly simple it is to use. There's no fancy app connectivity or confusing menu systems. Just point, shoot, and get your measurement. The display is bright and easy to read, even in direct sunlight, which is something you definitely can't say about every laser measure out there. It's got your basic functions like area, volume, and continuous measurement. Plus, it remembers your last 20 measurements, which is honestly more than enough for most jobs. The battery life is solid too. You're looking at around 5,000 measurements per charge, and it uses standard 80AA batteries, so you're never stuck without power. At around $80 to $100, depending on where you shop, the DW03050 sits in that sweet spot where it's affordable enough for weekend warriors, but reliable enough for daily use. Sure, it doesn't have all the bells and whistles of the pricier models, but sometimes you just need a tool that works every single time without any fuss. If you're new to laser measuring or just want something that'll survive being tossed around in your toolbox, this DeWalt is a solid choice that won't break the bank. At number 4, we're stepping up to the Leica DISTO D2. And this little guy is what happens when Swiss precision meets pocket-sized convenience. Don't let the compact size fool you. This thing packs some serious accuracy with measurements precise to 1/16 of an inch and a range that'll take you out to 330 feet. What's really impressive is how Leica managed to cram all this performance into something that's barely bigger than a smartphone and weighs less than most people's morning coffee. The D2 really shines when you're working in tight spaces or need something that's not going to weigh down your tool belt all day. The interface is clean and intuitive with a bright backlit display that's easy to read in any lighting condition. You've got all your essential functions: length, area, volume, plus indirect height measurement using the Pythagorean theorem, which is super handy when you can't get a direct line to what you're measuring. The build quality feels premium in your hand, which is exactly what you'd expect from Leica, and it's got an IP54 rating, so dust and water splashes aren't going to kill it. Where the D2 gets interesting is the price point. You're looking at around $150 to $200, which puts it in premium territory but not quite at the level where you need to justify it to your accountant. For contractors who are constantly moving between job sites or anyone who values portability without sacrificing accuracy, this Leica hits that sweet spot. The battery life is excellent too, giving you up to 10,000 measurements, and it uses standard AAA batteries. If you need something that's going to travel well and still deliver professional-grade results, the D2 is hard to beat. Number 3 brings us to the Bosch GLM 50C, and this is where things start getting really interesting with smart connectivity features. Bosch took their already solid GLM 50 platform and added Bluetooth connectivity that actually works well, unlike some other tools I could mention. With a 165-foot range and accuracy down to 1/16 of an inch, it handles the technical specs you need while adding modern convenience that can genuinely save you time on the job. The real game changer here is the Bosch Measure On app, which transforms your phone into a digital notepad for all your measurements. You can create floor plans, add photos with measurements overlaid right on them, and organize everything by project or room. It sounds gimmicky until you actually use it. Then you realize how much time you've been wasting writing measurements on scraps of paper that you inevitably lose. The app lets you calculate paint coverage, flooring needs, and even generates basic CAD files that you can email to clients or suppliers. The laser itself has a bright color display that shows your measurements clearly, plus all the standard functions like area, volume, and indirect measurement. At around $120 to $160, The GLM50C sits right in that mid-range sweet spot where you're getting professional features without the professional price tag. The build quality is typical Bosch. Solid, reliable, and designed to handle daily use without babying. Battery life is excellent with up to 25,000 measurements on 2 AA batteries, and the Bluetooth connection is stable and responsive. If you're someone who's already using your phone for project management and documentation, the GLM50C makes a ton of sense as your next laser measure upgrade. Coming in at number 2, we have the Bosch GLM 165 series, and honestly, this might be the best all-around laser measure for most people. Whether you go with the 27C model with the color display or the 25G with the traditional screen, you're getting 540 feet of range with incredible accuracy. We're talking plus or minus 1/16 of an inch consistently. But what really sets this Bosch apart is the visibility technology they've packed into it. The standout feature here is the green laser beam, which is up to 4 times more visible than traditional red lasers, especially in bright conditions or outdoor work. If you've ever struggled to see your laser dot on a sunny day, you know exactly why this matters. The 27C model adds a full-color display that's honestly beautiful to look at and makes navigating through functions way more intuitive than the typical monochrome screens. You get all the advanced functions you'd expect: area, volume, continuous measurement, min-max tracking, and indirect measurement with multiple Pythagorean functions. The app connectivity works flawlessly too, with the same measure-on integration that makes documenting and sharing measurements effortless. Here's where it gets really attractive. Pricing sits between $180 to $250 depending on which model and where you buy, which is serious value when you consider the feature set and performance you're getting. The build quality is tank-like with IP54 protection, and battery life is outstanding at up to 25,000 measurements. This Bosch handles everything from quick residential measurements to complex commercial layouts without breaking a sweat. If you can only buy one laser measure and need it to handle whatever you throw at it, this GLM 165 series is probably your best bet. And our number 1 pick is the Leica DISTO E7500i, the absolute beast of laser measuring tools. This isn't just a laser measure. It's a precision instrument that happens to fit in your pocket. With an incredible 1,640-foot range and accuracy down to 1/32 of an inch, this thing will measure across football fields with the precision of a Swiss watch. But what really makes the E7500i special is how it performs in conditions where other laser measures just give up. The E7500i features Leica's advanced point recognition technology, which means it can distinguish between your actual target and interference from things like mesh, vegetation, or rain. The 4x zoom viewfinder with crosshairs lets you precisely target exactly what you want to measure, even at extreme distances, and the smart base automatically adjusts depending on which edge you're measuring from. You've got every measurement function you could possibly need: area, volume, trapezoid calculations, stakeout mode for layout work, and even timer functions for when you need hands-free operation. The IP65 rating means this tool will work in conditions that would shut down most electronics. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room: price. The E7500i runs between $800 to $1,200 depending on your source, which puts it firmly in professional tool territory. This isn't an impulse purchase, but for surveyors, architects, large construction crews, or anyone who needs absolute precision and reliability in challenging conditions, it's worth every penny. The battery life is exceptional with up to 10,000 measurements. And when you consider the time savings and accuracy you get, the ROI makes sense for serious professionals. If you need the absolute best laser measuring technology available and precision is non-negotiable, the E7500i is in a class by itself.